Hello everyone, I'm CZ Lumen and this is StarCraft 2. What I have for you here is a little side project I'm going to be working on called TheoryCraft. And in this episode, we're going to look at mineral extraction by the different amounts of saturation that we have with each of the well, in this case, it's going to be hatcheries, but what's the best way to allocate drones? Now, I looked up because I said in one of my previous castings that there was diminishing returns with the workers, and that is true. But there's a little caveat here. According to one theory crafter, workers mineral per minute, when we have one worker per node, it's going to yield 55 to 60 minerals per minute. Cool. A worker costs 50 minerals. So it takes about a minute for a worker to pay for itself. With two workers on one node, we get 110 to 120 minerals per minute. If this is correct, that means that the most efficient yield is going to be two workers per mineral patch. In this case, that's going to be 16 out of 16 because there's 8 patches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we have two different types of patches. We have an 1800 yield, or 1800 amount, and we have a 900 amount. So if these were fully saturated with 18 workers, it is calculated that at the 7.5 minute mark of harvesting, so 7 minutes and 30 seconds, these smaller mineral patches will go away. And with two workers working the larger patches, it'll take a total of 15 minutes. What can we do with that information? Well, we're going to find out in a second. Going back to the workers per minute, or the minerals per minute per workers, if we have 3 workers per mineral patch, they are going to yield a grand total of 143 minerals per minute. So you can see that there's a massive diminishing return when you go from 1 to 2. It's about this. It's pretty much on spot according to this individual. From 2 to 3, we go from 120 to 143 with 50% more workforce, going from 2 workers to 3 workers. So I am going to test this. I have groups of 8 drones here that are going to be on standby. We're going to watch my income amount on the bottom of the screen. I should have spent this in order to make it a little bit more simpler, but we're really going to focus on this little number that represents the yield amount. And I think I had it every 15 seconds I would add workers. So we're going to see 8, 16, 24, and then 32 workers on one patch. And then, just to see about the distribution, as we saw in the one game where smaller yields were actually like giving one side an economic advantage, having the same amount of workers, I have two hatcheries on ready, and we're going to saturate both of those, and we're going to see those increments in action. So I'm going to go ahead and press play here, and we're going to watch this unfold. I'm going to slow it down so that way, maybe I don't have to slow it down. Maybe I can speed it up here just so we can all watch this together. All right, we're at 251, 257, 3, 4. See when this like equalizes. I'm going to look at, okay, so this is before the next 8. So with 8 harvesters, we have 447 about. All right. With 16 harvesters, we're going to see this number go up. So if it was perfect, we're going to go from 400 to about 800. I'm just getting those harvesters ready, workers ready. We are hitting the 800 mark. That looks about all right. We're at 895 to 923. So we're averaging a little over 900 minerals per minute on 16. With 24. So this is going to be 3 workers per mineral patch. We're going to see if this rises up at all. We were at 850. Okay, here we go. We got to jump up to 1,000. So from 900 with 8 extra workers, we're at a clean and very consistent about 1100. So this is a gain, but it's not doubling. So we're not going from 4 to 8 to 12. We're just actually shy of 12. So this is actually not a bad increase when we look at the numbers here. 32 workers. So this is double the recommended amount of workers for this patch. I don't see an increase. Oh, I saw a 12 spike. This should be the most consistent harvesting amount that you're going to get, because there's not a chance any of these mineral patches are going to have any kind of idle time. There's always going to be a worker waiting on the mineral patch. We're seeing it pretty much balanced. So I didn't see any difference between 24 to 36. And with 40 workers on one patch, I just wanted to be solo and see if this did anything. And it looks like, just eyeball estimates, it looks like about the same. I'm going to fast forward just a little bit. This will pause, and I'm going to divide the workers between in sets of 8 in between the two hatcheries here. All right, we're back down to 0. So we should see what's expected. We're going to see 400 something because we have 8 workers working. Another addition of 400 something. So we're going to see about 800 with these workers. Now these drones aren't going to have any interference. They don't have to wait for anything. These are the drones' maximum efficiency. There's no wait or idle time. We have actually a really consistent number now. Wait, hold on. Okay, I saw the jump. I was like, wait, that looks like 3. So yeah, here we have 3 sets of 8. Now we have 4 sets of 8 working 2 mineral patches. And I only have this one up here. I think I add them here in just a little bit, just to see if it plays around with that number. So here we have the saturation, and we should see it go up when the 16 goes up to 24, just like we saw before, but it's just going to be slight. So we're at 18 now, and so I'm guessing this might break 2,000. We're going to see here. Does it break 2,000? We're at 1,900. I'm seeing 19. There it is, 2,000. So we break 2,000, but it's not much. So without doing precise calculations, I'm going to estimate that if you have 2 base that you want to evenly distribute your workers with your bases as much as possible. So if I had 8 workers standing here and I had 2 bases, I would want to put 4 and 4 as much as possible. Ideally, send those to a new area in order to harvest, but you get what you get. This is these are a little bit harder or better numbers to work with, and I actually tested the theory behind it. And we did see the diminishing returns a little bit. I'm going to have to write these numbers down and get harder calculations, but you can watch this, slow it down, pause it, take your own personal notes, and I hope that helps.